This episode of the A.T.TIPSCAST is sponsored by the Practical and Fun Guide to Assistive Technology in Public Schools. Pirates, monsters, monkeys, and more keep you engaged as you learn tips, strategies, and insights that will help improve your assistive technology program. From setting up a stellar team to conducting consultations and evaluations, and from implementation to assessing success, this guide presents detailed advice to provide AT services that effectively and efficiently help all students. You can learn more about the book with the orange cover from the website www.isti.org/chew-AT. That's isti.org/chew-AT. And you can continue the experience online by connecting with other readers by liking the book on Facebook. Go to bit.ly/atbookfb. That's bit.ly/atbookfb and become part of the community that's having fun being practical.
Hey, this is Mike Murata. I'm from Advancing Opportunities in New Jersey. Check out our website at assistive-technology-center.org, and you're listening to the A.T.TIPSCAST.
Welcome to the A.T.TIPSCAST, exploring and investigating the implementation of assistive technology in public schools. I'm your host, Chris Bouguet. This is episode number 97, recorded on May 18th, 2012. It's summertime, everyone, and that means it's the season to get out and do some exercise. Hop on a bike and go for a ride. Hit the trail and go for a hike. Cannonball into the pool and go for a swim. Or grab a buddy and go for a walk.
Frog went a-walking on a summer's day, Frog went a-walking on a summer's day, Frog went a-walking on a summer's day. He met Miss Mousy on the way,
Speaking of walking with your buddies, I recently had the opportunity to chat with Becky Switalski, who is the National Buddy Walk Director for the National Down Syndrome Society. We talked about the official Buddy Walk put on by that organization every year in New York City and in a large, very large number of other places around the country and even around the world. So stretch out, limber up, and slap some sneakers on your feet as we learn about AT-TIP number 284, the Buddy Walk. Hey there, Becky. Welcome to this episode of the A.T.TIPSCAST. Thanks for coming on and doing this interview with me. So let me ask you, Becky, can you tell the listeners of the A.T.TIPSCAST who you are, where you work, and what you do?
Absolutely. My name is Becky Switalski, and I am the National Buddy Walk Director for the National Down Syndrome Society. Basically, my job is to oversee our National Buddy Walk program, which pretty much means that it's my job to provide support and resources to all the Down syndrome support groups and individuals who organize a buddy walk in their community.
Wow, so a buddy walk. How did you get interested in doing buddy walks? How did you become associated with the National Down Syndrome Society?
It all started by chance, actually. It was about 12 years ago, and my roommate at the time was the marketing and PR director at NDSS. The New York City Buddy Walk was coming up, and she asked if I would be interested in volunteering at it, because she was sure that I would really enjoy it and they needed the help. So of course I did, and I fell in love with it, and just all the families and just everything that happens over the course of the day. And over the next few months, I started getting in with the National Down Syndrome Society, helping out at other events that they were holding, outings and luncheons and auctions. And each event that I was part of, my respect for the organization and all of the programs really grew deeper. And it was about, I think in 2002, they realized that they needed to hire someone whose main focus it was to work on the buddy walk. I was ready for a career change at the time. I went for it, and I got the job, and I'm still here.
How awesome is that? So you started as a volunteer, and it just kind of grew over time, and then it kind of fits perfectly. So tell me about the buddy walk. What exactly is the buddy walk? What do people do?
Well, the Buddy Walk, it started in 1995, and it was created to celebrate National Down Syndrome Awareness Month, which is in October. And its main focus was to promote acceptance and inclusion of individuals with Down syndrome. So it's really a day to celebrate the abilities and accomplishments of people with Down syndrome. Over the last 18 years, It's really become the world's premier advocacy event for Down syndrome. Last year alone, we had more than 285,000 participants raising over $11 million to support local programs and services, as well as the national advocacy efforts of NDSS, which benefit all individuals with Down syndrome. So really, it's just a super fun day to celebrate the lives of individuals with Down syndrome.
Oh, that's awesome. So you've been doing this for a number of years now? You've been participating in many different buddy walks?
Yes, I help with the New York City Buddy Walk, but every year one of my favorite things to do in September and October is to travel around to different parts of the country to get to be part of their local events.
Huh. So there's the New York City Buddy Walk, and that's like the one you put the in front of, the Buddy Walk. But then there's other smaller buddy walks all over the country. Is that right?
This year we're expecting 250 buddy walks to take place across the country. And
no way! Awesome. 250?
Yep, 250.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's cool. So if anyone who's listening might find a buddy walk that's near their area.
Absolutely.
Cool. So how would people how would they find out information about the buddy walk?
Well, to learn about the Buddy Walk, you can do a couple different things. You can visit our website, which is www.buddywalk.org, or you can send me an email to buddywalk@ndss.org, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that people might have.
Oh, cool. Here with the A.T.TIPSCAST, it's all about technology and tools to help people with disabilities. Or really any student at all, any person at all that could benefit from a piece of technology. So let me ask, since you've been doing buddy walks, has there been any stories you know of or seen people use different pieces of technology from something low tech or high tech? Does anything stand out to you?
I can speak definitely for my experiences at the New York City Buddy Walk, since that's the one that I'm the most familiar with.
Uh-huh.
I see more low-tech strategies, and what we're seeing are kids and their families taking pictures or videos of the Buddy Walk so they can relive the experience once they're home. They like to talk about who was there, what they saw, and what they did.
Awesome, right? So yeah, we use that strategy all the time in our school. Is that we have students take pictures, and then that can become kind of the context for them to have a conversation. Or we have students that go out on community-based instructional trips, and they could take pictures of what they see, and then they can go back and tell their family about what they saw, or they can use that to help them with remembering things like, oh, I'm going to take a picture of this and this and this because I need these. I'm out of I don't know, let's say raisins, right? And here's my empty raisin box. I'm going to take a picture of it, and that becomes my list of groceries that I need. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of strategies like that. Cool. So you've seen people take pictures and then share those events later on with other family members.
Yep.
So since you've been doing the Buddy Walk for a number of years in New York City, do you have any kind of like fun or heartwarming stories that you can share?
Absolutely. Do you think could I tell too?
Yes, absolutely.
Excellent. And you know what? These are not even going to be about New York City. They are going to be, one is in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and the other is my good old state of Ohio. I am very excited because there are just so many wonderful stories about the Buddy Walk and how it is really able to really change the lives of individuals with Down syndrome. Okay, the first one I'm going to talk about is in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. This couple, Dennis and Sharon Lee Deal, they first started the Buddy Walk in 2006 as a way to welcome Sharon Lee's brother into their community. He had recently come to live with them at the age of 55 after their mom passed away. People in the community really hadn't seen many individuals with Down syndrome and weren't really sure how to react to him or what sort of expectations they should have. So the Deal set out to educate their community and to create a welcoming place for David and for other people with Down syndrome. And over the past 6 years, the Buddy Walk has turned from a one-day event into an entire weekend, into a Buddy Fest. And David and the rest of the individuals with Down syndrome who come out, they're treated like rock stars. I mean, not just the day of the Buddy Walk, but all year round. The Buddy Walk has totally changed the entire town's perspective about the value of people with Down syndrome. And the money that they raise from the Buddy Walk helps fund a program that teaches kitchen skills to 8 students with intellectual disabilities, which in turn equips them for employment opportunities in the community. Isn't that pretty cool?
That is awesome. I love the term Buddy Fest. That has become
Exactly. I mean, they've got restaurants, they've got all the stores on the boardwalk will give giveaways to people wearing Buddy Walk T-shirts. They've got drawings, they've got so much stuff goes on, and it's just such a welcoming um, environment and just a whole lot of fun. They party all weekend and have a great time.
I really love how the whole community comes together about this, and then it really spreads the awareness. Instead of it just focusing on here's one day or one weekend, it really spreads the awareness across the entire year. And then it just kind of infuses into the culture over time that people with Down syndromes are just accepting.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what was the second story, Becky?
Okay, the second story is from my wonderful state of Ohio, and it really ties in nicely with your interest in assistive technologies. Starting in 2010, the Down Syndrome Association of the Valley in Boardman, Ohio, they began using part of the proceeds from their Buddy Walk to purchase iPads that they load up with different special ed apps and distribute to families in their group free of charge. And this has just had an incredible impact on their children, whether they be, preschoolers, high schoolers, college age, anywhere in between. The younger children are able to benefit from the verbal and educational apps that are out there. The teens and young adults are using the iPads to create task lists and email friends and family. They use Facebook. It's just a wonderful way for them to give an incredible tool to their members that a lot of families would love to have, but the money should be spent elsewhere. They just don't have the extra money to go out and buy an iPad. And so every year they give away 20 to 30 iPads to their members. And I just love hearing how the money that groups raise through their Buddy Walk makes such a positive impact on the individuals with Down syndrome in their communities.
Oh, that is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I love to hear that the money is going back to be used with technology that can help students. Or people in general. That's fantastic. If people wanted to get involved with the Buddy Walk, tell me again, how can people get involved?
People could get involved in the Buddy Walk by coming to our website. We've got a great website, www.buddywalk.org, where you can find a walk near you if you're interested in volunteering. You can get information on starting a walk, or you can just read all about it. Or you can send me an email at buddywalk@ndss.org.
Now, Becky, let's say the Buddy Walk's happening on a weekend that I can't attend or I can't volunteer. Can I still give a donation, or do they have teams? How does that all work?
Absolutely. You would need to contact that local walk in your area. The vast majority all have teams. Teams are a great way for family and friends to really come together and celebrate their loved one with Down syndrome. And you can absolutely make a donation to your local group or to the National Down Syndrome Society.
Great. Now, Becky, so let me ask you this too. Is there any other social media besides the website? Is there Facebook groups or Twitter or anything else that people can use if that's their preferred modality?
Absolutely. We are on Facebook. It's NDSS Buddy Walk. And we are also on Twitter, and that is also NDSS Buddy Walk.
Great. All right. So I'll encourage everybody to go like that Facebook page and follow you on Twitter. All right, Becky. Is there anything else you want to tell me about the Buddy Walk people should know?
Just that it's an incredible day, and I really encourage everyone to get involved in a local walk near them.
Thanks. And when is the New York City one?
The New York City Buddy Walk is Saturday, September 22nd.
Awesome. Thanks, Becky.
Thank you, Chris.
Tonight I must walk on by. Yeah, walk on by the room where you still sleep. Walk on by the company that you keep.
Thanks to Becky Switalski for taking the time to do the interview and sharing her experiences with the Buddy Walk. I already jumped over to buddywalk.org to see if there's going to be a Buddy Walk somewhere in our area, and you can too. Head on over to buddywalk.org and click on the event link to find an upcoming Buddy Walk in your area. As you just heard, it's a great time for a worthy cause that results in important differences, not only in the lives of people with Down syndrome, but for all the people that live in their communities as well. If you have a little money you can donate, you can leave a donation by going to www.ndss.org. If you have more time than money, you can sign up to volunteer over at buddywalk.org. The memories and connections you'll make will last a lifetime. In other news, Beth Poss and I were recently notified that we'll be presenting a 2-day pre-conference down at ATIA in Orlando, Florida during the last week of January. So, what does that mean for you? Well, if you'd like to participate in 2 days of fun in the sun down in Orlando, you can sign up for the pre-conference. I don't have all the details yet, but as soon as I do, I'll have those posted over at A.T.TIPSCAST.com.
Chris, tell them the title of the pre-conference so they know what to look for.
Sheesh, Beth, you scared me. How'd you get here?
I walked, of course. Now, tell them the title.
It's called Mission Possible, Proliferating a Culture of Universal Design for Learning. And, like I said, it's a 2-day workshop with loads of interactive components. If you want, you can sign up for each day separately, but we hope you choose to spend both days with us for some laughs and some learning. Stay tuned for more information as we get closer to January. Also, before I wrap up this episode, I'd like to thank Mike Murata for the bumper he did at the beginning of this episode. As you heard, Mike works for Advancing Opportunities in New Jersey. Check out the resources they have over at their website, AssistiveTechnologyCenter.org. Until next time, may all your interventions be inclusive, may all your strategies be supportive, and may all your walks be done with a buddy.
When I walk along the river, I take a step, I take a step, I take another step. When I walk along the river, I take a step, I take a step, I take another step. When I walk along the river, I take a step, I take a step, I take another step. I love to watch the river flow. I love to watch the river flow. It goes ooh-ah, 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 ooh-ah.
Daddy, are we really going to do that walk after the summer?
Yes, we are.